Last week on The Joke's on Me,
you're going to get people talk and do things. Shit. And you've got to learn how to deal with that.
Does anyone like hecklers?
Me personally, I love hecklers.
One, it's a great opportunity to score points on someone who's not as funny as you.
How tenuous is your grasp on your own craft that you can't deal with someone yelling something out? Let's discuss this after the gig.
I mean, if you can't win against the heckler, you're probably in the wrong job.
I don't care, man. I hate this. Fuck you.
What? Don't do that to me.
Why don't you guys throw out the type of jokes that I should be telling? Funny ones.
Every well-known comedian was once an unknown comedian.
Remember doing this on a really hot day? The problem is people behind you think you're doing something completely different.
Night after night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some comedy?
Mic after mic. Dedicated or just delusional?
I'm pursuing my passion. And we all know there's money in passion.
I'd love to make a good living.
Yeah, good one. Good luck.
Come backstage as we follow the people following the dream.
We're all weird. We don't get paid. You get a drink voucher if you're lucky.
Comedy is one of those things where there's no obvious path.
You can't just tick your boxes down a sheet and at the bottom of it is success.
You will get heckled. What?
Essentially, you're putting yourself in a situation that most people find terrifying. If you kill, you're a hero. And if you die, you're the person that ruined their night.
What a drying day. Because weather like this, you got to use the clothes dryer, which is, I fucking hate the clothes dryer. It's bullshit. It shouldn't even be called a clothes dryer. Like, it's called a clothes dryer. It's fucking 80% of your clothes can't go in the fucking thing. It shouldn't have any settings, but it does. First one is something called iron dry. That's basically the dryer going, look, champ, I'm out of my depth here. You're going to need to get another appliance in here to finish this shit off. I don't know what I'm doing. The middle one is called normal dry. What the fuck is normal dry? Like, it's fucking dry. Like, it's dry or it's not. And the final one is something called extra dry. That's basically an admission, hey, normal dry doesn't work. Like, because if normal dry worked, extra dry wouldn't fucking exist. If normal dry worked, extra dry would just be called, hey, you want to risk starting a fire?
I don't sit around trying to think of funny things to say.
How do I write stuff? I'll be in the shower and then things happen.
It's a really muddled thing.
You hear somebody say something, you think, right, oh, there's something funny about that.
Something will occur to me that there's maybe something in it that I can mine.
There's like a seed of funny in that.
What's the big deal with whales?
What the fuck? He's a real estate agent.
You remember doing this on a really hot day?
I just read a book called The Game. Have you guys heard of The Game?
Have any of you guys noticed people from the country have fatter fingers?
Anyone else pick that up?
And oh man, better write that down quickly. So towel up, come out, grab the phone.
When I come up with stuff with people, I now put it into my phone.
Anything that is stupid or mildly insightful or silly or a weird word.
Just the words, it'd just be like, oh, fish finger, floppy, you know what I mean? Just an idea. And then I write it and extend it.
Hash it out and stretch it out, and usually I'll get at least one line out of it.
I'll walk around just going over the bit in my head, trying to find the bits that are funny.
Walking around my bedroom or my lounge room and adding to it and jumping on at finding themes that connect.
Now, hanging out with friends, like, I'll have to do it surreptitiously. Like, we'll be having a laugh, like, just like take out your iPhone. Then they get so self-conscious that, is this going to turn into a joke? Oh, maybe. Morning, people. Oh, you know, oh, what a beautiful, shut the fuck up. I hate, I actually think that Morning People is the perfect title for a horror movie. Wouldn't it? Just, The Morning People. They've been up since 5 doing yoga. Now they're covered in dew and eating homemade Bircher muesli. Just. I think very early on I just underestimated how much work goes into it.
I don't know, I try and write weekly, but I'm hopeless.
Yeah, I'll just write for half an hour every day. I'll just write.
Doesn't matter what the subject is, just keep writing and then you'll just find that, of course, random segues will come in.
Whatever comes out, and most of it is complete shit.
Who cares? Like, if I have something that I know I won't be able to say in a set, put it on Twitter. No one gets hurt.
The only thing that disappoints me is when people come up to me and go, that's the best bit, and I know that I can't just keep doing that bit, and I'm just like, oh, why can't I find a new that bit?
Why is it the guys most into white power are always the worst examples of white success? You ever notice that? It's like, mate, I'm part of the master race. He's living in a caravan park at Campbelltown. It's like, dude, you're married to your cousin. You are not what Hitler was dreaming about. Fucking...
If you looked at my notes in my phone or my notes in my notebooks, none of them actually make sense in terms of full sentences. They're all little... it's over there. It's good that morality is so complex, because that's why conspiracies don't work. I'm my kid's yardstick for normal. Oh, they only make one size of paper towel holder. It's like the entertainment centre has the paper towel dispenser in the toilets that's like that big, but same as a small pub. It's only ever... That'll be a bit one day, I'm sure of it.
Have any of you guys noticed that like comedy just seems to be mainly white guys in t-shirts noticing stuff? And then just complaining, going, oh, Jetstar. I'm like, you know what's worse than Jetstar? Not going on a fucking holiday, bro. I fucking hate taxis. I hate fucking walking, man. Early on, like I just wrote it in the phone, and then I'd amass and push those ideas together. But then I realized that there was a big problem in that, because it was just like a white guy noticing shit. So you know what I mean? Like a map of my life. It's like, oh, you've got a new train bit, do you? Because I happen to go to the train to work. You know what I mean? So I thought you need to be a little bit smarter about the topics you're hitting than just going, oh shit, I've got a new t-shirt bit because I went to JJ's.
I think for me, my material tends to come from irritation, and that tends to come from people.
The Miracle Bra has 2 inches of padding on it, right? So you can basically go from like an A cup to a lying piece of shit in the clasp of a bra. Shit's not a miracle bra, that's a titty mirage. Get close enough to touch and it disappears. Oh, it's not fair, is it, boys? Oh.
I try and write material that's part of me and how I would naturally be funny, which is dry and sarcastic and angry most of the time. If I get angry about something, it's generally a topic that I could probably turn into comedy. Oh, here's one. Right, jazz musicians. Jazz isn't music. It's Tourette's with an instrument.
I try to keep it everything that's happened to me. I believe that's funnier to the audience too, because, you know, it's happened to them.
The stuff that really amuses me when I write it very rarely works on stage.
Yeah, it's quite a few times I've thought, hey, I've got a really good thing written, and I go to like a workshop or a room where I work stuff out and get to the end and go, look, that's new and it'll have jokes at some stage.
Yo! Alright, we've got a little bit of housekeeping. What I want to try and do for you guys is I want to try and get some really credible, solid feedback. I think is going to be really, really helpful. Does that sound good? This is your thing.
This is Comedy on the Edge.
This is a great room because you're allowed to be bad.
Basically, you get 3 minutes to try out new material, and then people give you feedback.
People can come and just do a 3-minute spot, get some feedback, have a practice at performing in a fairly low-risk environment.
For that, it's invaluable to be able to table your work before you go on stage.
This is where we come and develop that nugget of what might be funny, and we nut it out and we say it in front of these people, and you might get a shrug, and a shrug is a good thing here.
I gotta work on my silly getaway, but that's about it. Alright, thanks guys.
You get to test your material out on a warm audience before you take it to a real audience and get crucified.
When I was 20, I used to have wild sexual fantasies about beautiful women lusting after me, whereas now that I'm 30, I pretty much just beat off at the thought of a woman treating me well.
The idea of 2 koalas like 60-90 is like literally the most adorable thing I can imagine.
All I'm saying is like when ISIS understands equality better than Australia does, we've got a fucking problem, man, you know what I mean?
That needs it's an ending.
Like a couple of the things that I said tonight, even as they were coming out my face, I was just like, no, this is never gonna go further than this room.
If you do it that way, I'm really not looking forward to turning 35.
It was probably worth doing, like giving it a try. If I could get it more succinct, that might work, yeah. At the same time, there was other bits that I wasn't very confident in, and then it seemed to work.
So, yeah. You're never going to know what a joke's like until you do it in front of people. You have all your perceptions and ideas and think, oh, they're going to laugh at this. Oh, this is so funny, you know.
You got to get your pronunciation right, guys. That's my one lesson to you all tonight, because correct pronunciation is the only thing that stops saying, I like writing in my diary, from being, I like writing in my diarrhea. So you got to take that lesson home with you. I wrote that about 5 minutes ago. I thought it was pretty good. Thank you.
There was one joke I actually did last week for the first time in the middle that I've been wanting to do for like a year. I keep forgetting, and I did it and it worked and I was happy. It's about fat people, and the quickest you ever see a fat person move is in an all-you-can-eat restaurant. You know, they run up and down those aisles, man, like, you know, like angels, screaming out shit like, they go potato bake, and they run up and down, and then they have to turn into like constructional engineers because the plate's only this big, but they don't want to go to and from too many times. So they build like spring rolls around the edges and put the glue like with sweet and sour sauce, and they build up a stack, then ice cream, bok choy, everything else in there, and then walk back.
John Madden was caught smoking pot in his hotel room. Let me hit you with this. Pot has more healing properties than KFC. Fact. But he can cook one mean bucket bong with one herb and plenty of spices. That's worth a lot more. The new stuff was actually alright. It got a bit of a mixed response, but most of it I'd be happy with it enough to keep it, but I just don't think I did it with the right beat, so I need to go back and rehearse it.
You see these guys that are like really good at just getting into the moment and just creating this whole world when they're on stage that they drag you into. And I still look at that and go, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so I used to be black, right? It's just a thing. We don't talk about it. So this is a magic trick that I learned in the ghetto, and I hope you guys like it. It's my ghetto magic trick.
Yo, check it, it's my motherfucking road trick. All the sluts in the house, suck my fucking dick. Hit the deck, bitch. You gotta open up your eyes and fucking check this. Yo, I take this large motherfucking rope. Hey, I take this large motherfucking rope. Yo, I put it up next to this small rope. This guy down the front, you got a small rope. You and your lady stick together, no hope. Yo, I take the medium, I take the medium. Yo, hey, I put the medium up next to the large, which is next to the small. Yo, then you blow on the motherfucker. Oh, on the motherfucker, blow on the motherfucker. Oh, on the motherfucker, blow on the motherfucker. Oh, on the mother, then you pull. And that's my motherfucking rope trick.
All the bits that are my solid bits now that I do at club sets and stuff, literally just came up off the fly at gigs, you know, telling a story about, hey, guess what happened to me today, and, you know, 3 months later, that's a bit.
Does anyone here register shame before pain? Like, if you trip over in the street, madam, in front of a bus stop full of, like, top hat wearing aristocrats, and you break your leg, what's the first thing do you feel? Do you feel the pain, or do you go like, oh god, I fell over like a stupid baby, mortified? Yeah, totally.
You know, I don't know what Ben's writing process is, but it seems like he just lives his day and then walks on stage at the end of it and talks about what he saw and what he did and how he reacted.
I was at Clovelly Beach. I'm swimming around, not scuba diving, snorkeling, like, oh, the pretty fish, and all of a sudden, get sucked into this rip. Fucking like, I start freaking out. In my weird, fucked up, scared state, I'm like, I can't drown. The only way out of this situation is to cruise body surf on this wave towards those jagged barnacle-covered rocks. So the next wave picks me up, and I get dumped on the rocks, and the rip starts pulling me back and forth. My pasty little fatty flesh on this rock, and all of a sudden I look up, and there's this elderly man standing there looking down at me, and all of a sudden I get this, like, I see reality through his eyes, like this fucking fat, bald piece of shit, like, just like, so fucking helpless, like a piece, like, what a piece of shit. And I'm imagining him, like, judging me as I would judge myself in that situation. And all of a sudden I got consumed with the most horrendous shame in this situation. And my logic in this moment was, I can't let this anonymous old man who I've never met before think that I'm a piece of shit. I've got to convince... oh God! I got to convince him that this is happening under my own duress. That I'm doing this, and so I'm literally getting up and down these rocks, going, like pretending to laugh while I'm bleeding and in fear for my life.
For me now, the process is about how do you refine the method with which you create material, make that work to the best of your abilities, rather than trying to do it the way other people do it. It's just, we've all got our way of getting there.
The craftsmanship of it isn't in writing it, it's in refining it.
It feels mad when a new joke works.
Thank you. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yes! Fuck yes!
Especially when your new baby, your new thing that you've made up in the shower, or the place that you write comedy works. It's like a little lottery, you know what I mean? And then you can get told the next day, Jay, you'll be working 20 hours today and you're not going to get paid extra for overtime. Fuck it, beautiful, I don't give a shit, because that 2-minute bit that I've been working on for fucking 6 weeks, it worked. It worked. I love it.
Next week on The Joke's on Me.
I went to this all-female comedy night by accident, obviously.
Ladies comedy nights for the ladies.
The notion that females aren't funny comes from a generation of male comics that are really misogynistic.
The only funny thing about girls in comedy is that they try it.
I got on stage and before I even opened up my mouth, he said, oh, it's a woman.
Oh, aren't I cute and sweet? It wouldn't be great at raising a baby.
A homeless guy asked me for $2 today, and I gave him $1.67, because that's how much a woman would get for doing the same job.
I've been thinking long and hard about what I should do. Get a job, buy a house, I could be just like you. Makes no difference either way, we'll all end up the same. Oh, what a trip to dwell inside this romantic brain. Is this a passing phase?